Dr. AJ.
Yeah, hi. Good morning.
How are you?
Very nice, very nice.
Awesome. So thank you again for coming to our talk today. And I would like you to please share some tips to lose weight naturally with our viewers so they can help themselves in staying healthy and happy.
Absolutely. Um, so natural way of losing weight, that's what we're going to talk about it today. Uh, Now, very simple, fundamental things. The old times, we had to walk. We had to do a lot of work. Today, the life is so luxurious. It's so much sedentary. So you really have to count your calories and multiple factors. Simple concept. If you control your calories, intake and output, if intake is higher, output is less, there is a weight gain. If intake is less, output is higher, there is a weight loss.
Right.
So what you want to do is definitely monitor that. How do you monitor that? First of all, buy a good weighing machine. Remember, the weight goes up the elevator and comes down the stairs. It goes quickly with an elevator like speed, but when it comes down, it slowly, like comes down the stairs. So you want to monitor that. Whatever get monitored and measured, that get controlled. HealthClickAway, for example, the app, what I've used your app, it basically monitor, for example, your water intake. Water intake should be 1 ounce per kilo. The second thing is it monitor your calorie intake. Number 3, your routine of food. Instead of eating processed food, you're eating more home cooked green, vegetable, leafy, color vegetables food. Remember last weekend I showed you different color diagram.
Yes.
In your food. You have a white, red, orange, green, and purple color food on your plate. So those are the few things which you want to monitor. Now, the HealthClickAway does 4 or 5 different features. For example, it controls your water intakes. 65% of our body weight is water. When you take enough water, it cleans up all the dirt, what's happening in the cell, all the toxins. They come out of the urine as well as your skin, as well as toilet. Those toxins go out. The more they go out, the better your healthy body going to be. Remind me later on how the diabetic people can control their weight gain, because diabetic people are very prone for weight gain. So what you want to do is like have scheduled meal. Either have, there's a recent study came out, a Japanese study, the gentleman got a Nobel Prize, and they talk about intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is same as Indian people do fasting and for many centuries. They're doing for centuries. I mean, it's interesting. Somebody finally did a double-blind control studies, got a Nobel Prize for that. But interestingly, in our culture, they were telling us, what is the intermittent fasting? After 6 p.m., you don't eat anything until 12 o'clock next day. So it's almost like an 18-hour, you have a fast. And the body does not get inflamed. Whenever you eat food, it creates inflammatory reaction. And that inflammatory reaction has to be controlled by antioxidant. And that is why all the green color or colored vegetables, not the meat I'm talking about, the colored vegetable, they will give you anti-inflammation. That brings to the next topic, bowel movements. How many times you eat? 3 times a week. How many times you go to the bowel movement? 1 time, 2 times. So what happened? You ate 3 times meal and only 1 time or 2 times went to bowel movement. Where is that extra goes? It stays in the body. Right. That causes weight gain. That causes all kind of problem. Constipation. There's a bowel, brain, gut syndrome. When somebody has a bowel movement not coming regularly, they're very prone for depression. Plus, at the same time, they're prone for the weight gain. So make sure your bowel movements are regular. How do you make sure the bowel movements are regular? Take green leafy vegetables. We talked about it. The health click away, could you talk about it? 4 or 5 things it's monitors.
Yeah. So this is it's based on artificial intelligence, and we have few features like water logging. So it will monitor your water intake, and the smart notification is designed in a way that it will send you notifications on regular interval, so your body will be hydrated throughout the day. Second, the log meal feature. In this, you are able to calculate the calorie count, and at each meal according to the percentage you should take at every meal. Here you can track your macronutrients like carbs, protein, and fats. Like we have heard, everybody is saying that control your carbs and increase your protein intake and all those things, but we are not sure how much carb we should take and how much protein we should take, and are we taking it in a proper quantity, or we are overexceeding it and we are not taking enough that it's good for our body. So our app will track all the macronutrient according to the ingredient of the food you are eating. So you will get exact quantity of how much you should eat and how much you are eating. It will tell you if you're over exceeding, you should not take it. And the next feature is the meal planning. So in a diet plan section, you can plan your meal. It will help you in organizing your life. You can plan your meal a week ahead or a time ahead of time, so that you will be knowing exactly at what you will be going to eat at particular meal, and you can plan your grocery according to that. You will be having good food options in your pantry, and then you will not end up eating junk or anything which is not of your taste, but you have to eat because you don't have enough groceries in your pantry, because you are organizing your things ahead of time. And the next thing is the exercise option. So normally we think that going to the gym or doing rigorous exercise is the only way to burn calories, but here in our app we have which is uh, which is fully compatible with Apple Health and Google Fit. So you can see that even walking around within the house, or maybe 30 minutes walk outside the house in the park or somewhere, you will see that it will count the footsteps, and you can see how much you are burning uh, with those footsteps, and you can see the burn in the exercise section, and which will help you in staying active and healthy. These are the few main
And,
features.
and this is all done by artificial intelligence,
Right.
which is
Machine
very
learning, it will
commendable.
learn your meal patterns and all those things, and like you will be suppose you are taking breakfast in meal in sorry milk in every meal, or supposedly in breakfast. So in automatically in the grocery list, it will add the milk, that next time you'll go to a grocery store, it will give you the pop notification that you have to take the dairy product milk, and then you will not forget what you are eating regularly and what you are supposed to buy. So it will help you in, yeah, organizing your life that way also.
So let's make a game plan, especially in today's time when everybody's in-house. Not very many people are able to go out freely to exercise. I've been not in the gym for almost like, I would say 6 weeks. I've not been in the gym, 6 to 8 weeks, and I miss it. At the same time, I still work out at home.
Right.
So let's talk about that, how to formalize a plan. Number one, you make a decision that how much weight you need to lose.
Right.
How do you decide that? I'm going to come to that. Number two, get a good weighing machine. Number three, get an artificial intelligence app like HealthClickAway. So somewhere you can monitor. Whatever get measured, whatever get monitored, it get controlled.
True.
If you watch your weight at least 3 or 4 times a day, you will know that. I mean, you lost quite a bit weight. How much weight you lost?
I've like it's been 2 weeks. I spoke to you, so in those 2 weeks, I lost again 3 lbs in these 3 weeks again,
3 pounds.
in just 2 weeks.
3 pounds. You lost
Yeah.
1 pound per week. That is a very good control
Yeah.
weight loss, especially after you lost about 30, 40 pounds before in last 9 months or
Yes.
so. How much you
Yes.
lost from there?
So maybe 35 pounds till now.
So right now, close to 35 pounds. And over 9 month period, it's a good weight loss. So about when you talk about a weight loss, somewhere about 6 to 8 pounds or 6 pounds per month, almost 1 to 2 pounds per week. That's a good control weight loss because the body has to get adjusted to that. So number one,
Yes.
you need to decide you want to lose the weight. A lot of people, diabetes, they have that. People who are pre-diabetic, they have high weight. That is the commonest cause of high weight. And so let's talk about it. How much is the ideal body weight? One of the crudest way to remember is, what was your body weight when you were in high school? So that part will remind you. But let's say we don't know, we don't remember. In the female, the way you remember it, 5 pound, 5 foot tall lady is equal to 100 pounds. Okay. If it is each inch, you give extra 5 pounds. So let's say 5'1" is going to be 105 pounds. If it is 5'2" tall lady, it will be 110. Okay. If somebody is 5'4", it's going to be 120. That's a guideline. That's a ballpark figure one should be. In the male, the 5 foot is equal to 120 pounds. That's the male gets another discount for 20 pounds more because they're more muscular and they're more, right. The bones are heavy. And if somebody's 5'6", so you put 120, 5 times 6 is 30 pounds. That's about 150 pounds. You got that? So that's your ideal body weight. Okay. Your goal is to lose 1 pound per week, if you can remember that. Yes. 1 or 2 pounds per week. Okay. Next thing is you get a weighing machine. Okay. Number 3, you get yourself HealthClickAway, an app like that, which is artificial intelligence, keeps track of your calorie count and everything. Now, today's time, when somebody's in-house, you're not able to work out that much. Maybe skip a meal. Maybe cut down on the portion. The other method is like when you take your plate, you fill the plate, whatever you decide to eat, first of all, do not go for the second. Number 2 is divide the plate in half, eat half only. If you're still hungry, then eat the rest of the half after half an hour. No problem.
I am trying this sense? Only. Earlier, I used to take, like, if I'm eating rice or if I'm eating paranta, I used to take in advance. Before starting, I used to take 2 with me. Now, what I'm doing, I'm just making 1 only for me, and I'm sitting with 1. Most of the time, I'm done with 1. Or if still I'm feeling hungry, I can take a little bit yogurt or something else, and I'm done. That's the mindset, I think. And if you want to eat, you are human, you can eat. That's not a big deal. But you have to train your mind or maybe your body that yes, this is sufficient for you. And when you have in your mind that you are supposed to take this much calories, then maybe, as you are saying, 21 days a habit. So it will automatically become your habit, and your body gets trained to it that yeah, that's it. This is for you, and you feel full. You don't go for further eating without any hunger. So you start getting those hunger cues and satisfaction cues.
And there are some things which are available in the market that can quench your hunger and everything else. Other thing, what you do, increase your protein intake. Suddenly what happened, the body is so used to metabolizing, machinery suddenly has to stop or slow down, and they say, wait, everything has to stop. Let's bring the protein machinery to burn it off. And the protein build masses, especially the muscle mass, and best part, in some cases, it replaces the fat. In protein, when the muscle is burning the calories, it's burning as much as 30 to 40 calories. In the same time, when the fat burns only 2 calories. So you can imagine. Now, I'm going to talk about 2-3 concepts. So number 1, the foundation of natural weight loss is diet, nutrition, and exercise. Right. Diet, nutrition, and exercise. So first of all, with the diet, you're talking about the calorie count. The app also takes care of the exercise, calorie intake, calorie output, and everything. So make a deliberate effort to do an extra exercise. Some of the right now there are cell phone which watches how many steps you did. And let's say you did 9,700 steps. Yes, and 300 more steps, you could complete your 10,000 steps. A lot of people do commit to that. But if you don't monitor, you have no idea how many steps you learn. The third thing is nutrition. Get a plant-based nutritional vitamin supplement. Because let's say if you're taking potassium, somebody's taking potassium. You're passing in the kitchen, you see the banana, you said, okay. But let's say if you're low in potassium, you're passing in the kitchen, you say, oh, I like banana, because the body likes banana. Potassium, your body feels good when you eat a banana. But with that extra banana comes extra calories. So the nutrition
Right.
plays a very, very significant role. Second thing, you want to get plant-based. They don't use any pesticide. If somebody asks you, where's the vitamin from? These are natural. Ask them, where is your farm? Where do you grow them? And that will get a good answer. Let's move on to the next topic, which is very important in the same category, the weight. How do you control the weight in diabetics? So in diabetic, what happens, whenever you're chewing something, okay, and when the food goes in the stomach, body produces a hormone called ghrelin, and that causes the initial insulin response. So the insulin is blood is waiting when the blood is when the food is moving from stomach to the small intestine. In diabetic, that response is missing. So here is what happened in a normal diabetic. When they eat a meal, which is a regular meal or even a full meal or a big meal, the stomach does not give any signal to the body, look, there is a food coming, get some insulin ready in the blood. When the stomach, the food goes to the small intestine, it gets absorbed in the blood suddenly wake up. Oh my God, there is so much blood sugar coming there. And suddenly there is a lag time, the insulin response, that's why the blood sugar goes high. When there's a high blood sugar and the insulin response is high, that also goes very high because it's trying to catch up. And what happened, it is certain level above high insulin, high blood sugar. The body says, hey guys, we have enough sugar. Turn that sugar into fat. And that's how people get a lot of fat, especially diabetic people. So what do you have to do? Do you have to climb the mountain? No. Whatever your meal time is at diabetic, number one, take your few medicine, which you're supposed to take half an hour before.
Okay.
Take your blood sugar medicine half an hour before.
Okay.
And after, right around that time, maybe 5-10 minutes into that, suppose if you want to eat 2 tortillas, take a bite of tortilla, same what your designated meal is, and take it right there and then only.
Okay.
After half an hour, when you come, that bite of tortilla is already metabolized and in the blood, giving the initial insulin response. So the blood is mentally ready. Okay, there is food coming, which is kind of a little bit late. Also, you can add a flavor of a salad. When you add the salad about 15-20 minutes before in the meal, in the diabetic patient or anybody, the food does not get absorbed so quickly and does not cause high blood sugar response. The key word is high blood sugar response. If you take a high blood sugar response, trying to prevent that, that will decrease the weight. That's why look into a book in the market, something called high glycemic index. For example, in Coke, you have a high fructose corn syrup. It goes straight to the blood and boom, gives a very high blood sugar. The can of Coke, it has 8 teaspoons of sugar. 8 teaspoonful of sugar. So those are the things which you have to worry about. Next category where you can decrease your weight naturally is good night's sleep. Very important. When somebody falls asleep at 10 p.m. and they have a dark sleep and they have dreams and the dreams are colorful. When the dreams are colorful, at 4 o'clock in the morning, they have a big burst of growth hormone and the body heals at that time. People who are night workers especially, they have shown their life expectancy is 20 years less. Very important. That life expectancy is 20 years less. For simple reason, because they never get to see that growth hormone coming into their body. The people who don't have a good night's sleep and they have a constant stress on top of that, they have a disease called adrenal fatigue. So what happened? And they have a weight around the belly. If somebody has a belly weight, that is adrenal involved, adrenal glands. Adrenal gland is a small gland, peanut size, very small gland above your kidney, and they produce a hormone called adrenaline or epinephrine. It also produces norepinephrine. and they all come from a normal cholesterol. So when people have certain amount of stress, the adrenal get burned out. So lowest space Addisonian crisis, that's a medical lingo, that's completely burned out, and that means there is no adrenal produced at the time of any. Extreme is there's a too much stress, people have heartburn, people have high heart rate, high blood pressure, constant anxiety, depression, insomnia, those things are happening, those people, those are the extreme. Now in between is something called adrenal fatigue. Medical doctors have not recognized it. In USA, everything has to have a CPT code, I mean ICD-9 code, ICD-10 codes. And there is no code for adrenal fatigue. So in the doctor community, adrenal fatigue does not exist. In functional medicine, it does exist. And so a lot of time when we have patients with a lot of weight gain, the first foundation of the weight loss is control the adrenal gland. How do you control the adrenal gland? Tai Chi, massage, yoga, exercises. It decreases that cortisol level. So what is cortisol level? It's basically your body has cholesterol. It turns into a hormone called pregnenolone. Pregnenolone turns into a hormone called cortisol. And most of the stem stress follows this pathway. Okay, this pathway, very common. And what is get inhibited if you somebody take Tai Chi, yoga, exercise, massage, it inhibits this pathway and it goes to the natural pathway. It makes testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, good hormone, basically happy hormones. And that's where people lose a lot of weight. A lot of time people try everything. What other thing decreases cortisol level? Exercise. Believe it or not, a lot of exercise, yoga, exercise, cardiovascular exercise, that will help with the adrenal fatigue also. So I'll give you a tip. If the weight is on the belly, it's adrenal. If the weight is around the hips, it's hormones. For hormones, you need to go find yourself a hormone doctor, hormone replacement therapy doctor. But for adrenal fatigue also, you need to find a hormone replacement doctor. But the key word is you have to understand what are the two sources. Number one, if you have weight around the belly, it's a cortisol level. It's a stress level. Something is doing that. If the weight is around the hips, it's a hormone level. And those are the few things which you have to understand to define the role between the two. And accordingly, you decide what you need to do. There is a tons of information on the Google. People, you can find it, natural methods. HealthClickAway does monitor your, I'm using also water intake. I like that because it really promotes the water intake. Log in the calorie count, a meal plan, exercise options, and it plan your grocery. I'll give you another tip. If you have to open a food and open a wrapper, it's a processed food, it will cause a lot of weight gain, if that makes any sense. The more you have food, which is fresh food or green leafy vegetable foods close to the earth, it's better food. Other thing one can do, decrease the intake of meat, especially red meat. A lot of time in the red meat, there's a whole bunch of different kind of hormones that causes separate set of problems. If you notice, the girls in United States, they start having their period at age 9. Why? Because they are taking free hormones from meat and milk and chicken. If they are not organic, they will get all those free hormones, and that's where the body completely get imbalanced. And these girls later on come with a problem of polycystic ovarian syndrome. And in that polycystic ovarian syndrome, it's like a basically heavy body, and they have extra hair, and they have a hard time controlling their periods, and that will cause extra weight gain whenever there's a hormonal imbalance. Going back to your natural method is, right from the childhood, you create the habit of diet, nutrition, exercise. Whatever habit you do it, your children are watching it. Your children are following it. If you like particular tortilla or particular curry or particular dish, they like the same thing too, because that's what you fed them when they were small. So they develop that method. They develop that the habit of eating that. Does that help when I'm talking a little bit? Is it making any sense?
Yes, yes. I just I want you to quickly, because we are about to end our session. Can you just quickly tell a few tips to lose weight naturally, crisp things, so that they'll able to remember those things and they'll take away from this session for us.
Number one, decide you want to lose weight. Number two, get yourself a good weighing machine. Number three, get into this artificial intelligence app, something like a HealthClickAway, which monitors four things I mentioned to you: water intake, calorie count, meal plan, and exercise. Those are the four things. Okay. The other thing is get a good night's sleep. And there are, if you cannot fall asleep, take melatonin. It's available over the counter. Melatonin 3 milligram will give you a good night's sleep. Number four, decide where your weight is. If your weight is around belly, it's adrenal. Weight is around the hips, that's hormones. And monitor your weight. Monitor your weight almost every day. I monitor my weight every day. Remember, I mentioned to you, the weight goes up the elevator, it comes down the stairs. Weight goes
Correct.
up the elevator and comes down the stairs slowly. So those are the few things. And stay involved. It's a long-term process. You took 2 to 3 years to gain about 30 pounds. It will take you at least 3 to 6 months or maybe 8 months to lose that weight in a balanced way. There are some places which will tell you, oh, you can lose weight 30 pounds just like that. The moment you gain it, it comes back the same way too. So
Exactly.
it has to go slow, steady. 1 to 2 pounds per week is a good number.
Yes.
And
Thank you so very much, Dr. AJ, for your time. And I hope our viewers must have learned a lot from this session, and it will help them in staying fit and healthy and um, getting over from their health challenges. Thank you so very much, Dr. AJ.
absolutely. We have a few more minutes, and I want to
Okay.
piggyback on my last lecture when we talked about immunity. So,
Okay.
building up the immunity. When people lose weight, they do build up your immunity. Nowadays, everybody's talking about, oh, we need to build immunity because of the possible flu or COVID or any of these virus infection or bacterial infection. We need to build immunity. The same thing what I shared with you about losing weight, they help to build the immunity. And the building the immunity is a very, very important part. One thing I want to establish with you, our immunity as a human being is built over millions of years. So it's not like we're totally devoid of immunity. At the same time, there are certain time or certain part or certain food when you eat, your immunity does go down. For example, if you eat a very high inflammatory food, the immunity goes down because it's fighting that food, free radicals. For example, any kind of processed food has a high immunity. Oh, by the way, in processed food, you get free sodium benzoate, which is a preservative, which also causes high blood pressure. So you be careful. I'll give you another idea. A lot of times, some restaurants, the if some restaurants cook really fresh food. Some restaurants do not cook fresh food, and they're using processed food, and that's had a sodium benzoate in it. That makes sense.
Yes.
The so you have to be mindful of that. What are you putting in your mouth? And in anti-aging, one of the fellowship I did, um, the biggest thing was body inflammation has to go down. When the body inflammation goes down, the person's life increases. And how do you decrease the body inflammation? Losing weight is one of the most important things. You can send me questions on Facebook. I'll be happy to answer them as they come along. But at the same time, write down your next topic. What would you like us to cover? And I will definitely cover. I have done 2 masters, 3 doctorate, 4 different medical board. I've been in medicine more than 25 plus years, about 40 years. And I really enjoyed it. That's my passion. And then people from all walk of life, and they really enjoyed the uh, you definitely want to go back to the and read about it, weight loss, create some sense question out of it, and that will help you.
And Dr. Ajay, you remember when I was having all the body pains and I used to come to you with so much fat here, my all body portions, and you used to tell me if you cannot do rigorous exercise, just do 30 or 40 minutes walk, and you hire maybe 10 days, hire a trainer and get the knowledge of a good exercise and do it for yourself. You have to live for your children, you have to uh, be healthy for your family. All those things, those motivational words really helped me. You were the one who guided me and actually pushed me towards the path of being a healthy person. Thank you so very much for all those things. And I also want to share one more thing. One of my family members said that if you are like mostly women, they don't feel that they have time for themselves. They cannot cook separate food for themselves, so they give up totally. But in this app, we are not saying you to cook something different for yourself. Whatever you are cooking in your home or whatever you are getting from outside, just eat that thing and log that in the app. So it will tell you how much you are supposed to take, or if you are within the limit or you are exceeding. Because as I was telling, somebody told me that if you are sick, you will be the person who will be taking all the medicine, all the pain, all the injections. Person sitting next to you or your family member, your husband, your children, nobody is going to take that pain, what you are going through. They'll be suffering because you are suffering. But you'll be the person who will be it it really pinched me that time and I made firm decision, yes, I have to do something for myself. If I'll be happy, my family will be happy.
And how much you lost
So yeah.
total?
Was that?
How much weight you lost total through the following the
I
app?
36 pounds till now, yeah.
36 pounds. Excellent. Until next time, this is 12 o'clock.